Hello everyone! Today I'll teach you how to color the eyes of my drawings. First, I make the eye shape. I don't make geometric shapes to draw the eyes, but if you want, I can do that in another video. Also, my English is not that good, so I apologize if there is something wrong, but I hope you all can understand. I use a brush that I found on Pinterest to make the line art. This one right here. To paint, I use the hard brush. I just lower the opacity to make shadows, etc. To give some texture to the skin, I use the same brush that I used to do the line art. To make the white part of the eye, I rarely use white. In fact, I normally use a shade more towards purple, gray, but in a much lighter shade. I paint the drawings in a simple way first, and then add shadows or lights, so I can get an idea of how the drawing will look first. Paying attention to the skin again, I like to add this shadow so that there is a difference between the nose and the eye part, without having to draw a line for that. By the way, these are the places where I add lighter colors. For makeup, I use another brush that I also found on Pinterest. It blends colors well and is a softer brush. I start by using a lighter blush and then focusing more on the eye parts, always using an eyeshadow that is darker than the blush. For a pink blush, I use a darker pink or purple on the eyes. For a red blush, I use brown on the eyes. And for a more orange blush, I use a lighter brown or a darker orange on the eyes. For the lighter details that I do on the skin, it also depends on the blush I use. For example, in this one, the detail is a very light pink. And finally, the eyes. I choose a color, and then I use 3 or 4 darker shades of that color. In this drawing, it was blue. I used 4 different shades, always leaving the corners of the iris in a darker tone. The light details I put on my eyes is more random in color. This time I chose a yellow and a very light green. I don't know why, but I think it looks cute this way. I like colorful things. After finishing all this, I come up with a very dark shadow and lower the opacity. And so that the drawing doesn't end up looking too gray, I use some lights to make the drawing more eye-catching. The color of the soft light will depend on the skin tone you choose. For a more tanned skin like this, I use a lighter orange, and then add a more reddish tone in the corners of the skin where don't have much lights. After I finish adding the soft lights, I add the hard lights, and that's how I make the eyes of my drawings. And if you like this mini tutorial, subscribe and like this video. Kisses, and see you soon.